Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, what's going on? It's Tuesdays with Tawana. Hey, listen. Trying new things here, making things happen. Yeah, so y'all just indulge moi for a little while. Yes. I hope that you um I hope I see two of you trying to see if there's the comments. Yes. Hey, Mother Carolyn. I'm glad you're on because you love your daughter, even though I had a temper tantrum this morning. What's going on? Grace and peace, my sister Jackie. Can y'all hear me okay? This is a new and different platform, so I am just playing around, having fun during quarantine, trying to make things happen. So it's Tuesdays with Tawana. We here, we rock together, we build community one podcast at a time. There's usually no agenda. There might be some nuggets that I might drop on the ticker there. But other than that, we kind of go with the flow, and I look at your comments and you let me know what's going on in the world, what you're feeling, what you're thinking about, what's moving you. Hey, my brother Larry. So glad you made it. Thank you, Mother. I'm glad you can hear me really, really well. I don't have on my headphones. I'm using the computer cam, and I was up late last night because I couldn't sleep. No particular reason. Sometimes that just happens with the process of healing. And I decided to play around with this eCam, and where I can play around and do some, scrolling things. And why my little thing is not scrolling, I don't know, but I don't have time to figure that out right now, right? Hey, Angela, what's going on? I hope everybody is safe. Everybody is staying and sheltering in place. Everybody is staying home, only going out when necessary, only going out if you have to. And if you are on the front line, still working, doing your thing, be safe, be protected, wash your hands, wear a mask, do what you need to do to take care of you and be safe for you so that you can be safe for others. Hey, Kim, yes, check out the swag today, y'all. See, y'all pressuring me. Reparations right now. You can get it from the Soul to Soul Sisters website that is right there on the little banner right there. I also put soul2soulsisters.org to donate because, as you know, we are raising money for Black women entrepreneurs who are really struggling through COVID-19. So this is a great opportunity to go on to Soul, Soul number 2, soulsisters.org. You can either hit donate to donate toward this amazing cause. We have a huge contributor that's going to match. So the more you give, the more they match, and we're doing so through May 31st. So let's make this happen this coming Sunday. Hey, Mama Lovey. Yes, in the virtual TWT house. I like that. I might have to use that for sure. So listen, let's talk a little bit. I'm glad to see everybody on. I hope everyone is doing well, because life is still happening in the midst of COVID-19, right? Let me make sure my shirt is in the picture. Life is still happening in between COVID-19. So we want to talk about life. We want to talk about how to navigate this space. And one thing I want to talk about today is relationships, because relationships come in so many different forms, right? We are building a relationship here in this virtual community, building community one podcast at a time, coming together and just talking about love and life and healing and diagnosis and the ills of the world, the systemic ills of the world, the racism and the sexism, and our young beloveds being killed by law enforcement or racism, and the list goes on and on and on. But one thing that has been on my mind over the last couple of weeks is what are we doing to respond to it, right? So we have these things happening in our world, and I see the grieving. I do believe that we need time to grieve. Sometimes we rush into that forgiveness mode, especially those who self-identify as Christians. We tend to rush into that forgiveness mode, right? And sometimes we just need a minute, because forgiveness is not only what we are called and mandated to do, but we need to do it with a purpose and a reason, and we need to do it as a form of healing for ourselves. Hey, Bobby, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. So sometimes we just need to sit in that grief, which is a form of love for the people who were slain, love for the family members that have lost a loved one, love for those who are impacted by these systemic ills. And in the midst of that, once we get through the grief, once we get through the hurt and the pain, what are we really doing about it, community? We've talked about this for years, probably even before my lifetime, right? We've seen organizations come and we've seen organizations go. We've seen organizations come together and galvanize in beautiful ways, and then we've seen them fall apart at a distance, whether it was personalities, whether it was a difference in vision, whatever it was. Those organizations don't exist anymore, but it doesn't mean that we don't have something to take away from those organizations, like the Black Panther movement or the Black Lives Matter movement, which still exists. It exists differently, right? So how do we then respond to all of those things and all of these things that are happening, where we have so much power when we come together? We have so much power in whether we vote, in our economic power, in our spending power. We have power with our business acumen, with our intellectual prowess. How do we bring that together across this nation and prayerfully across the globe? But we're talking about this nation. I got to stay within my context. How do we bring this together in this nation for us to galvanize? Because we have a short amount of time between now and November to make things happen. And you know what the root of that is for me? The root of the relationship building, the root of responding to the ills of the world, the issue of trust or mistrust. Because we have been in this country for so long with so many people betraying us, we were being killed unnecessarily, the injustice that we have had to endure, to have our own brothers and sisters turn against us, all of these things going on. And then we wonder why we can't come together as a people, because in order to come together, we have to have some semblance of trust. I have to believe that I am because you are, therefore I am, and we can rock and we can do this together. If we don't come together and have that level of trust where I know you're going to rock and do this on this end while I hold this down over here, because this is where my expertise lies. So if I do this and I do galvanizing with voting, and you do this where you galvanize the people on an economic base, and somebody else takes care of this, standing or being present at the city council meetings or running for city council or politics or whatever. And if we take all those pieces and put them together in a puzzle, then the puzzle is now this nice mosaic of us doing great work of liberation together. So there are times, oftentimes, we're waiting for someone else to begin that, whether it is someone of the Black diaspora or if we're waiting for white people because we want reparations. And it needs to be a both and. White people need to fix this shit that they started, but we also need to come together and not wait for them, because they don't know what an experience of racism is about. They don't know what it is to walk into a store and to be watched because of the color of your skin. They don't know what it is when you're jogging down the street and you are slain because of the color of your skin. They don't know what it's like when you walk into a store with a mask that is mandated and they ask you to leave. They don't know what it is to be attacked by the police when you are social distancing or physical distancing and you don't have on a mask, and you end up being beaten, brutally beaten, and arrested, or even brutally killed. While in Central Park and in other parks and other venues where there are people of no melanin, are given masks and ask politely, can you please put on this mask? Can you please exhibit social distancing? So we this disparaging treatment, I'm a little frustrated. So let me breathe. Let me breathe. This has got to stop. So we got to come together in our various facets, in our beautiful ways, in the way we are different, the way we speak, the way we show up in the world, the way we be, the way we respond. Sometimes we need those assertive folk out there on the front lines who are really giving them the business. And there are others who need to put stuff in writing and be there behind the scenes to publish the work, to prove what we are doing, if you will. Sometimes we need those running for office because then they're at the table and they have a seat at the table and they have a voice at the table, a voice that some of us have, but we aren't able to insert it into that narrative. So I hope, I don't know, I remember one day I was talking to my dear friend and she said, well, damn, we got to endure the racism and we got to figure out how to fix this shit too. No, we don't. We really don't. We don't have to figure it out. But at this point in time, when we're trying to save our lives and to save the lives of our children, we can come together and figure it out. But I'm not about to mammy somebody to help them figure it out. I'm not about to hold somebody's hand and to help white folk figure this out. I will give you the tools necessary. I will give you the language necessary. I will give you the language that you need to say to your racist uncle that shows up to Thanksgiving dinner. Yes, Thanksgiving, that racist moment. I will tell you when you're sitting in the boardroom and somebody says something very sexist or misogynist and the patriarchy is just all in the room, you'll have the language then to fight back. Rock Cooper said, while people need to fix this shit, they started. Absolutely. We didn't start this. We didn't ask to come here. We did not start this. We did not ask you to take us from our beautiful land where we were adorned with just beauty and divinity and we were living together in a tribal community. And then we come into this individualism. This is why we are struggling so much throughout this pandemic and past pandemics, because individualism only thinks about me. So that means that I can stand on the Capitol steps as a white person with a machine gun and I can talk about and use in parallel wearing a mask is like being a dog or a slave. How dare you put human beings in the same sentence as a dog? Help me today. Help me today. Oh, Rock said she was quoting me. I thought I said it and she said it and we were on the same page. So we really on the same page, Rock. Don't worry about it. So, you have them individualism, white supremacist culture. It's just all about me and making my money. And this is how we need to do it because you are stopping me from making my profits because we are putting profits over people instead of people over profits. So, beloveds, the relationships that we need to build with our Black, Indigenous, people of color, notice how I use those in separate terms because oftentimes people say people of color because they're even afraid to say Black. They don't want to remember the Indigenous culture that they, came very close to committing genocide, right? So they group everyone into people of color. So today, teachable moment, we're going to separate that joint and we're going to say Black. We're going to say Indigenous, First Nation, and we're going to say people of color to honor those people who identify as liberators in the movement for Black lives, in the movement for lives of people of color, a movement of lives of Indigenous people who are constantly marginalized and oppressed. We're not asking you to join this people of color movement if you identify as a person of color one day and the next day, because you can pass as white, you then conform to the ills of society of individualism and capitalism. That's not what we want. This movement is about standing on the margins so the margins disappear. This movement is about releasing the oppressed and the oppressor, because we don't want you to continue generations and generations and generations later trying to oppress folks. So we need to liberate both. That's just a fact and a reality that I live by, that both the oppressed and the oppressor need to be free. The liberation movement, though, starts with us. their liberation movement looks different. It's about repentance and forgiveness and reparations. Amen. Yeah. So with Cancer Cannot, I want to close with this. One, I also put a website here for the mask filters. There are a lot of people making beautiful masks, and these masks are covering. They are offering us an opportunity to be protected. But there are also these small square filters that you can put inside the mask that will help filter any type of germs or any type of challenges that are in the atmosphere, especially for us immune compromised folk. Hey, Maria. Ah, my love, mi hermana. In the trenches for liberation, honored to be with you in my corner of the world. Yes. I love you, my sister. Can't wait to talk with you soon for sure. Hey, Darlene. Good to see you. Good to see you. So as we move through, hey, Shirley, I missed you too. I'm sorry. You said, hey, T. I missed that one. Good to see you, babe. Oftentimes in these broadcasts, I parallel Cancer Cannot with life, right? So it's similar to my daunting battle with this diagnosis. This diagnosis, it is what's happening to me, but most importantly, it's how I respond. And I said this before, what I focus on expands. And if I focus on the cancer, it will expand. If I focus on my healing will expand. And that healing is really contingent upon how I define healing to be. It's not some blanket statement where the cancer just goes away and we all go skipping through the tulips, because healing happens in so many different ways. And in my meditation this morning, there was a comment. It said, attention energizes, intention transforms. Attention energizes. So if I give attention to this cancer, it's going to energize. If I give attention to the individualistic white supremacist culture, it's going to energize. If I give attention to number 45 and his cronies, it's going to energize. And we have seen that. But my intentions transform. If I give the attention with the intention to make changes and to speak truth to power and not to conform to the societies of the world and the ills of the world and fight racism and fight mass incarceration and fight disparaging treatments with healthcare and so on and so forth, my intention then transforms and we can change the system. Mama Lovey says, your voice of truth and history is a blessing and inspirational. And the elders. Thank you, Mama Lover. Mama Lovey. Kirkpatrick Tyler is in the building. Yes. What's going on? I just saw your fam, Chanello, drive by. Hello. Drove by my door. I couldn't go out. But anyway, physical distancing, taking care of myself. Hey, Cordio. What's going on? So attention energizes, intention transforms. So hi, Auntie Lorraine. Yes, I just love my community. Y'all don't know, this smile, this joy, it comes from deep, yo. When I see y'all joining, I absolutely love it. So I want to close with this attention and intention. Be very careful about what and who we give attention to. And let us focus our intentions, because it is our intentions that shift the atmosphere. I told y'all time and time again how powerful we are, how beautiful we are, how divine we are, how magical we are, how mystical we are. Our business acumen is sick. Our intellectual prowess is sick. Our melanin is just sick. We just bring it. We bring the whole thing, mind, body, and spirit, and they not ready. So if we just set our intentions on that, we will begin the transformation that's needed for liberation. Liberation and freedom from struggle. We don't have to suffer, beloved. We talked about this. There's purpose in the pain, but the suffering is oppression. It's a form of oppression, which is why number 45 wants the churches to open, which is why he wants the barbershops and the beauty salons and all that to open. Yeah, because I mean, it's not that white people don't get their hair done and get a haircut, but who is out there? And I mean, the media, I can't believe everything the media says. But white people are also very individualistic. Those are the same ones that are not wearing masks. Those are the same ones that are at the beaches. Those are the same ones that are hanging out in the parks. So let us be mindful and pay attention, but let us not give attention to that which is going to energize in a negative way. Let us be intentional, right, for our transformation, for our liberation, so we can come together in all of our individual prowess for the collective. We are an individual, a part of the collective. We are not these individuals. I got to get mine. You got to get yours. YOLO, you only live once. It's all about me. I don't care about nobody else. Nah, that's not how we live. That's not what's in our DNA. Our DNA is about love and resilience and resistance and community and beauty and divinity. I love y'all. I love y'all. This new platform is kind of working. Y'all can hear me. Y'all can see me. Y'all can see my shirt. Go on to soul2soulsisters.org. Donate for our cause to raise money for Black women entrepreneurs who are really struggling during COVID-19. And you can also go on to our store. We have clothing for everybody. Non-gender conforming, protecting Black trans women, for children, adults, if you identify men, women, and everything in between. So I love y'all to the moon and beyond. Oh, Rio, sorry, I can't be calling you on your government name. Yeah, you need to record these for YouTube. My brother just got on me about this, and I am. You'll see it. I am, for sure. Darlene, in order to get in front of COVID-19, we have to get behind COVID-19. Be a face mask warrior. You better wrap that thing, Darlene. Rock Cooper, I love you. Rio Reese, I love you. I love all of you. I love all of you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for not leaving me out here alone. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for engaging with me. Tuesdays with Tawana, every Tuesday, 12 Mountain Time. I love you. I love my village. I love my tribe. Cancer cannot. Y'all be well. Be safe, and most of all, take care of you. Because if you take care of you, you're going to take care of me, and we'll be able to take care of one another. All right? I love y'all. I'm out. Later.